So this video is all about creating the perfect game audio sound reel. Before I start, below this video I have linked to my game audio mailing list and my free course all about the business side of starting a career in video games as a composer or sound designer. So back to the sound reel. I got all the information for this video from two audio pros by the name of Kevin Regamy and Matthew Martinson. Aside from being incredible at their jobs, linked below, they also do this regular Twitch stream called Real Talk. There they give honest critique for budding sound designers and composers like you and I who submit our sound reels for their feedback and review. And they talk about all the stuff that you wish you could hear when you get rejected or you don't hear back from an application or a studio. They also gave a GDC talk on this whole topic, which I have decided to try and compact into a much shorter video. I still recommend everybody to go and watch their video, but hopefully this shorter version is a nice segue into this whole topic. Needless to say, all the information, all the credit goes to them. So here goes. The first part is length. This sound reel should be a teaser to your work, an insight into who you are and what you can do. So really 1 minute is the perfect amount. Arguably, if you're a composer, then perhaps 2 minutes is better off. Should be short enough not to lose their focus, especially if clients or hiring teams don't have that much time to spend on each application. This means being very selective with the clips that you choose. Do you want to specialize in a certain genre, or do you want to show how ranged your abilities are? I would almost always go for the former option, since people are usually hired based on their expertise on a niche. So if you have a reel based on first-person shooters, then you're likely going to be received as the person to hire for a shooting game. The second topic is all about flow. What is the story you're trying to tell with this sound reel? Kevin and Matthew describe it as it should be taking somebody on a journey. That means grabbing people's attention and holding it throughout the video, which essentially just means it has smooth transitions and decent video editing. Now, I realize that this is asking us to be video editors as well as audio professionals, but it's definitely doable. And nobody's asking you for crazy special effects, just simple, neat edits and cuts. And just like audio, there are plenty of free video editing softwares out there, so find one that suits you, pick it, download it, just start getting to work with it. There are also tons of YouTube tutorials to get you started. Plus, you can use existing sound reels as a source of inspiration, but ultimately the focus should always be on what the clips are and what you are trying to tell. The next part is about titles. When a clip or game starts, you need the title of the game and your involvement to come up alongside of it. All it has to say is the name of the game, the studio behind it, and your involvement. If you weren't involved in the actual project, then you simply say sound redesign or music recomposed. And just let the titles come up at the start of a new clip and then fade away after a few seconds. Don't let them linger, or else they might get in the way of the visuals and distract from the content that you're creating for it. And then at the end, very importantly, make sure you have a credit slide. Just again, a couple seconds with your name, your contact, your website, anything that might be important for people to know in order to reach out to you. Remember, you're using this whole reel to advertise yourself and your services, so this part is very, very important. The next part is the audio side of things. Whilst I'm not going to tell you how to design your sounds, that's totally up to you and up to you to learn, you'd hate to have a reel that's too quiet. So first off, compare yours to existing sound reels and make sure the loudness is at the right level. And then again, to reiterate the main point of this video, what are you trying to portray? What are you trying to show that you're good at or where you want to work? Do you want to work in indie games? Do you want to work for AAA studios? Do you want to work specifically for racing simulators? Whichever one you pick, tailor the clips that you choose to that topic. Make it very, very obvious that that's what you're gunning for. And if you want to be crazy and try to be a sound designer and composer at the same time, just like me, then I would recommend having two separate reels. That way clients can understand your two skills separately, because it might be a little tricky for clients to focus on one or the other if they're both in the same video. And maybe you're more interested in the implementation side of things, which is great. Take a Unity or Unreal tutorial that you've gone through and then take video clips of that explaining what you've done. The final point I want to make is, above all else, start small. If you've never made one before, start with a 5-second clip, or start with one sound from a scene. Start building up to creating a longer video. And remember that this should be a year's aim to finish a sound reel, not a week or a month. Bear that in mind when you feel yourself trying to do too much and getting a little stressed out about everything. It's important to give yourself the time to grow and improve. Below, I've linked some of my favorite videos to give you a source of inspiration for great sound design and fantastic editing. And as always, reach out if you have any questions.